First time I'm back online in a long time. Thank you for joining. I was playing Fallout with kept on distracted, and I looked at it and it whole thing. Play this just random RPG I found quite recently.
1971. We woke up in a different world, where the Cold War ended along with the Vietnam carnage. All because of the Dome. The Dome. A territory full of anomalous artifacts, phenomena, and organisms. We still don't know what it is. An alien city? Some kind of a testing ground or storage? Whatever it is, no living thing trapped under the dome can escape it. Yet even this did not stop the research. The major powers created the Cronus Megacorporation to develop and explore the dome. Its secrets became a lucrative business. The Spire station was built on top of the dome to export the artifacts and import supplies and personnel. The city of Crystal Sands grew at the foot of the dome, eventually becoming a major transportation hub. All this required thousands of employees, and there was no shortage of candidates. Romantics, pragmatists, and adventurers of all trades swarmed recruiting centers around the globe, seeking jobs at Cronus. You were one of those people. In 1976, your application was approved, and you went under the dome towards the future. Whether a good one or a bad one, only time will tell.
Yeah, that's exciting. 1976, the year Mary Hartman came out. Under the Dome is a Stephen King book. But how am I gonna play this? That's really what I'm. Can I create a character? Do I have to be these people? Right before I started this, it said it was like the Fallout world that plays like Baldur's Gate, which is kind of cool. Although I think there's like magic going on in this too. Alan Woodpecker, White Wing. This is a whole thing. So how am I gonna play this? Am I gonna be me? How young can I go and how old? 60. Too much. Other? I have a couple scars. pictures are too small. I can't even fucking see it. Yeah, I don't know. Pick a name, Nick. All right. All right. You know what? I'll use the name I picked in Fallout New Vegas because it's gonna go on you. Already uninstalled the game. Do I make her a dog back though? Is this gonna be some? No, I don't. I'm not feeling it. No. We Maryland. Then we got these the wings. 5 departments are engaged in different activities, choosing leaders and flexible there. All right. White wings are smart. That's again interesting. Uh, great discovery. Just like LA, new White Wing employees are launching a new era of science, representing the best minds, working diligently on laboratories, with modern civilization. It dome laid came to life. They're like working class. Charisma. Determine the first priority out of 1,000 for to be sussed out, investigated, through trial. With work, right tool. It's just like a manager. Every day's hard work. It's strong. Who's not as powerful as coordinate for everyone, every wing, don't security. Yeah. Oh, everyone deserves a second chance. For criminals, employees provide free-minded service. These are the fucking slaves. Shouldn't say that. We might. I'm saying we like. I'm assuming I probably will. Yeah. Deafness increases income. Well, pretty useful thing to do as a semi Fallout attributes. So, so each stat has multiple. That's makes like from song. You manipulate the face. It shows there's a lot. I have shit perception. Is that just last thing? Yeah, I'm deaf, right? So that gives me Action points, movement speed, initiative, evasion, life defense, hand-to-hand combat, criminal and contraption. It sounds like I should be building kind of like as a rogue in a sense. I think, right? Probably don't need snipe abilities. Low intelligence. Oh, if you're smart. Protagonist with incapable style. Sure. But that's my psyche. That has nothing to do with my brain. My brain's is pretty decent. High tech weapons. Medicine. Like, yeah, that's a pretty useful one. I'm gonna keep that pet set. I don't think I'm gonna do something past. I like that they gave me 10 fortune. That's pretty chill. I just don't know if I need all of these. I could swap between different because I don't think I will be using heavy weapons. I'm gonna be doing stealthy stuff. I'd much prefer having a laser pistol and a dagger or something along those lines. I think I need to put some points in my perception. Can't be too dumb. Maybe I don't want my 10 points there. I'll take 2 out, max out my attack. Riveting gameplay, I know. I want that's my reason I haven't started the games I play. Like, oh, I don't really feel like I have meaningful stuff to build. Then I realize I don't care how meaningful. When I play video games, I should record it. Why the last video I had didn't. This one doesn't have a camera, which I think I'm gonna stop doing. Buddy made a good point. Construct the view and the voice. I agree. We're here for the game. We don't need the video. In case characters have a variety of skills, we recommend choosing 2 of 5. One, you may select 3 skills and add an additional 30 points to each. This is just literally the Fallout character creation, shaped in I want tech weapons. Tech weapons.
A guy wearing thick spectacles thrusts out a sweaty hand.
Monty James, Silverwing.
He glances down at your badge.
Ah, it's you. I found your file extremely interesting, and your CV, wonderful. Inspiring, really. When I had the opportunity to look over the files of my future colleagues, I couldn't resist. I don't want to sound boastful, but silver level clearance has its advantages.
Monty winks. Monty makes a ring with his thumb and forefinger.
You were number 63,784 on the waiting list, but you were lucky enough to get into the dome after only 16 months. Besides that, zero, nada, absolutely nothing. You're a dark horse for both the Foundation and myself. How exactly did you end up in this wing?
The Silver forces a smile as he inches toward the window.
Well, you can't be as bad as Charles Manson. He filed for the Clean Slate program 3 times, but was never approved. Sorry, Charlie.
An uncomfortable silence rises between you, and Monty abruptly changes the subject. He taps the narrow illuminator panel with one finger.
Look, there's a storm rising. The lightning is strange. Green. Should lightning be green? This is my first sandstorm.
The orange is dressed in a new jumpsuit. The shiny badge on his chest reads Quentin Bisley. He's side-eyeing the screen skeptically. Despite his tired, grim expression, his gaze is open and friendly. However, the general impression is unmistakable. The orange's face stretches into a broad smile, baring his dentures to the world.
Like everyone, duh. In a black car, under guard. There's other guys too, the ones who go through the front door.
He nods at the black-winged woman beside him. Her nose wrinkles in displeasure, but she says nothing. As you're about to step away, Bisley nudges you on the thigh, at the same time pressing something cold and metallic into your hand. You open your hand to discover a pair of lock picks. Just in case, Bisley whispers with a wink. A wiry woman in black wing overalls gestures imperiously for you to approach.
You keep your hands where I can see them.
Elsa's expression runs from shock to amusement, then settles on a confused smirk. Looks like you've given her a good laugh, at least.
What? No way.
A man with a mustache and a blue jumpsuit is standing at the window, studying the construction site below through the occasional break in the clouds. His badge reads Igor Patan, planner. The blue taps on the glass with one finger and gestures you to come and take a look. Seems like he doesn't speak English.
Cronus Foundation presents gleaming, futuristic, state-of-the-art cities straight from the pages of science fiction. Well-paid, safe employment, career advancement opportunities, and a world-class social safety net. Noble and intellectually stimulating work in state-of-the-art laboratories. We're thrilled to welcome you to the Dome. Please hold on to the handrail and prepare for landing.
The thin, pale young woman is sitting at the window, leaning against the illuminator. The glass is slightly fogged with her breath. She turns to you. Her shiny badge reads Tomoko Kimura, physiologist.
We've crossed the border. No way back now. Even traveling by the funicular wasn't so thrilling.
The white presses small hands to her blushing cheeks.
You were thinking, why have no children been born under the dome? I've got a working hypothesis, but I'm not ready to share it yet.
She says softly, as if answering a question you didn't ask. Kimura peers through the glass in the direction you indicate.
Oh, that's the aircraft that crashed into the dome during the first expedition. I believe that's a wing fragment, and there's some white canvas. What do you think that is? Maybe a parachute?
The white shakes her head, bewildered.
I just can't believe it. It's all true. We're on our way to meet the future.
Kimura shoots you a surprised look.
You're familiar with the details of the briefing, right? To put it simply, the dome is a selectively permeable environment.
The white draws an invisible hemisphere in the air.
Inorganic objects may exit the dome without difficulty, but any living creature dies if transported back to the outside world. That's why we're all stuck here for an indefinite period of time.
Kimura is eyeing the dome's mesh, glittering in the sunlight.
Supposedly, it's something to do with the atmospheric composition, but it's a weak theory. The difference of the air within the dome is so insignificant as to fall within the margin of error. Or to put it more simply, there is no difference.
She shoots a quick glance at the silver and lowers her voice.
I heard a rumor, or a conspiracy theory, that we can leave the dome at any time. We've simply been told we can't. If you ever decide to test this hypothesis, don't forget to leave me something in your will.
Stopping by the door's porthole, you watch as the ground slowly approaches. It looks brown-black through the tinted glass and smoky blue at the horizon. It almost seems like the clouds are pulling apart there. You carefully review your briefing as you look downwards. When you arrive, they'll deliver you to the base, and you'll be assigned to one of the dome's many construction sites. Though even working all day beneath the burning sun would be preferable to being a participant of the White Wings experiments. You were told about those experiments during the briefing, too. Just as you're about to move away from the window, you notice a whirlwind beginning to form above the ochre plain. The gathering storm drifts unhurriedly above the desert, a crown of green lightning flashing at its core. Clearly no ordinary weather phenomenon. It must be one of those anomalies. You freeze by the window, unable to avert your gaze. The outlines of the landing site, blurred by clouds of dust, appear behind the greenish glass of the porthole. The capsule shudders as the braking devices engage.
Come here. Come on now, or you'll miss everything.
A cheerful man in a white lab coat grabs you by the sleeve. A badge reading Ludovico Nuzzi, scientific analyst, export department, dangles loosely on his clean uniform.
Look over there.
He points upward with a sharp, wide gesture and hands you his field binoculars. You raise the binoculars to your eyes. Under fourfold magnification, the whirling cloud above the rust-colored plains looks even stranger. Its core glows with flickering green light and flashes rhythmically, and that rhythm seems to form a complicated pattern. Nuzzi bends close to your ear.
Fascinating. Do you want me to bring some filters? If we intercept the red and blue spectrums, we'll see something amazing. It's like a signal, some kind of message. I don't know.
Ludovico laughs unnervingly and snatches the binoculars from your hands. With the binoculars raised to his eyes, he minutely adjusts the focus.
It's a massive whirlwind north of Concord, and not merely some desert sandstorm. That's an anomaly. I hope it lasts long enough for me to make a proper observation.
The scientist looks blankly at you, then down at his lab coat.
Ah, this? This?
Ludovico points at the building behind him.
I work in Concord Station, categorizing relics. My job is to classify them by rarity. Then the blues package them, silvers issue the documentation, and oranges move them to the cargo capsule. Just like the one you arrived in.
Nuzzi points upward.
Then the capsule takes the relics way up there, all the way to the spire, then to Crystal Sands by the funicular. They get auctioned off and turned into money. It's not like I endorse this, but we all like ourselves a good paycheck, right?
He offers you his binoculars once again.
Do you want to have a look at the spire? It's amazing. But then, you can look at the spire anytime. Now that sandstorm, that's what's truly amazing.
Nuzzi looks from you to the capsule and to the landing terminal entrance. He flings his arms up.
Oh, mi scusi. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. You'd better get going or you'll be late for check-in. Your colleagues are already inside, and the storm is growing stronger. Yeah, the storm is growing stronger.
The White mutters in fascination, eyes glued to his binoculars, which is fixed on the spinning whirl of clouds.
Hello again. Come back again.
Well, hello there.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit. Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World, a better place. Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World, a better place.
It was nice chatting.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Mr. Rayhead, would you bring me a cup of coffee, please?
Our honest work
Colleague? Well, never mind.
world, a better place.
Oh, good day.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Come back again.
Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World, a better place.
Employee, come to the desk for your
A tall receptionist watches you from behind his desk with a bored, haughty look. He waves impatiently at you to approach. The receptionist doesn't bother to hide his disgust at your orange uniform. He nods at you wordlessly, as if unwilling to waste his breath speaking to you. His metallic name tag reads Dean Rayhet. The administrator slaps himself on the forehead.
Ah, I almost forgot the regulation pre-registration greeting. Just a second.
Rayhet produces a reel-to-reel tape recorder from beneath the desk, rewinds the tape to the beginning, and presses play. The speakers explode with a harsh, crackling sound, over which the tick-tick of a metronome slowly grows louder. Solemn music begins to play, and the administrator's face takes on a serious expression.
Dear employee, on behalf of the Cronus Foundation, I, Administrator Dean Rayhet, welcome you to your new life under the dome.
The administrator clears his throat and continues.
By joining our company, you choose the path of science and progress. You are among mankind's best, and we ask that you live up to this.
Dean squints down at the monitor.
Deserve this title. Do your job honestly. Obey the law. Respect your colleagues and...
The music fades, and the administrator finishes his speech.
And together we will build the best possible future for all mankind.
Dean puts the tape recorder away.
Now that we're done with the official greeting, I'll register you and upgrade your Selectron. Okay?
Dean's hands hover over the keyboard. He gives you a nod. The administrator squints at the paper in his outstretched hand before setting it next to the keyboard and entering the information into the database. Rayhet scans the computer screen.
So your position in the waiting list was 63,784. You've been assigned to Magellan Station. A special bus will bring you there after a series of briefings. Please pass me your Selectron so I can update the firmware.
Dean snaps the docking port of your pass to a recess in the casing of his computer. The administrator puts your Selectron on the desktop and pushes it toward you.
This firmware gives you access to all of the Orange infrastructure. The Orange elevator, though it's out of order right now, the residential level, the utility rooms, and limited access to a few other areas for cleaning. One more thing. Please don't try to upgrade the Selectron yourself.
Dean continues.
All new employees have a short list of tasks to perform on arrival. Do you want to hear all the details or just the short version?
Rayhet nods and points at the ceiling.
First, you need a set of combat gear. Talk to Sidney Maynard, he'll give you everything.
Dean extends his second finger.
Second, self-defense. The rules don't allow for oranges to carry weapons, but you should still know how to use one. Talk to Ms. Margarita Tekachenko about that.
The administrator straightens his third finger.
According to the latest regulations, all employees must attend a briefing on psi abilities. Apply to instructor Andriy Mihai.
Dean extends his fourth finger and looks at you meaningfully.
Did I tell you about the combat and tactical training? The fourth step is to visit instructor Winston Botherby.
Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place.
And finally, science is the overarching purpose behind everything we do here. Go to Professor Van Alden to learn how to study relics, avoid anomalies, and catalog scientific knowledge. This training is mandatory for all wings, not just white.
Dean finishes. Dean catches himself.
Oh, and when you're done with your trainings, proceed to the waiting room. From there, you'll travel to Magellan by bus.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully.
The silver gives you another scornful look.
Down the hall and left, and don't cause any trouble.
As he's about to turn away, Dean suddenly remembers something.
Oh yes, I sent your mail to your Kairos. Check your new messages.
Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place. Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
A transition station was erected, which was called the Spire. It's a pure engineering miracle.
How can I help?
Welcome. We are Cronus, your reliable guide to the world of the
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
brave men. It'd soon become a city. But that was only the beginning. Around the aperture at the top of the dome, a transition station was erected, which was called the Spire. It's a pure engineering miracle. Welcome. We are Cronus, your
Bye-bye.
guide to the world of the future. When the dome was found, a small research
Behind the storage counter, you see a small, neat guy. His gingery hair shines with something like brilliantine. His badge says Sidney Maynard, storekeeper.
Oh, what a lovely angel! Came down from the heavens. Good morning, my lady. Is it something urgent? By the way, my name's Sidney. My friends call me Sid, though I prefer a different name. Want me to whisper it to you?
He smiles languidly, leaning on his elbows against the counter. The effect is more laugh-inducing than playful. Never taking his gaze off you, he reaches under the counter, loses his balance, and clips his chin on the desktop as he falls. A full minute later, he reappears, grimly rubbing his jaw with a thick logbook. He thumbs through it for a long period, squinting nearsightedly. Eventually, he gives up the struggle and reluctantly puts on his glasses. The silver taps his finger on the glass.
Slide your hands through the window, and I'll remove your handcuffs. That's better. Looks like you haven't received your uniform yet. And by the way, I don't just pass out equipment. I'm also available for trade. Interested?
Maynard smiles at you over his glasses, practically stripping you naked with his gaze.
Your voice is enchanting, my lady. I could listen to it forever. Right now, you need to listen to me. I am going to give you some instructions. These are the rules.
Sidney fiddles with his hairstyle.
So, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Life under the dome can be dangerous. You may get shot, spill acid on yourself, get electrocuted, or suffer the effects of a dangerous anomaly. You may also freeze to death or get fried. That's why it's important to wear protective equipment when traveling outdoors. Of course, in hazardous situations, the equipment will get damaged, and the more it's damaged, the more often one has to repair it.
The silver steps back from his counter to indicate the repair kit boxes piled in the back of the warehouse. He points back at the shelves behind him.
We've got repair kits for this gear. There are Blue Wing specialists ready to help you at any large base, of course, but they're not always available. So, you'd better learn how to use repair kits and workbenches on your own. It's a useful skill.
Sydney leans on the counter again and throws you a lazy wink.
No one would ever say no to a cutie pie like you, though. Those are all the instructions, by the way. Shall we get to the giving part now?
Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place. Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
The silver disappears into the back for a while and returns with a small package. Unfolding the package, Maynard shows you a brand spanking new uniform. Sydney fingers an orange jacket, pants, and heavy boots.
Jackpot! You got a brand new set. Don't be surprised. Some folks in Orange Wing have to make do with rags.
Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place. Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life
He
will be
raises
forfeit.
a finger.
One more important thing. In accordance with Order 16-225, helmets and gloves are not issued, but they're available for purchase from me. Please bear.
Sydney hands you the package.
Here's your uniform. Enjoy.
Sydney waggles his eyebrows.
Anything up to a
Attention,
star in the
attention.
sky,
Please
my
handle
dear.
relics carefully.
Here, take a look.
In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Sydney leans on the counter.
Honestly, lady, I'd sell you this entire place and give you an incredible discount if I could. But I'm not the one who sets the prices.
World a better place.
The silver touches your hand lightly.
I just wanted to say, I'll be finished at 10 today. If you're free, we could go somewhere.
Anything urgent, Mr. Krachkov?
Katarzyna, did you mark it as Class 1 again, instead of 2? Look, here's the scanner data. It says the relic is a scientific device.
Wait, but it's still Class 1. I'm not going to violate protocol.
Katarzyna, my dear, you may violate protocol as long as it benefits the company. Take your lead from your colleagues. Correct your report if you have to, and don't act so innocent.
Vladimir, I'm done. How do we mark it?
Class 2 fragile. Tell Noyan the relic should go out with today's flight. Think about it. A Class 2 relic will mean a bigger payoff for the company, and that means a bonus in your wages. Categorizing it as Class 2 means access to state-sealed bids. I bet the Brits will buy it. They're always trying to one-up us.
All right, Mr. Krashkov. I'll correct my report.
Carl, add sealed bids to the marking.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit. Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
The smell of good tobacco wafts off this tall, portly woman from a meter away. A black lacquered pipe, an open logbook full of signatures, and a metal flip calendar sit on the counter in front of her. A small nameplate reads, Margarita Tkachenko. The woman fixes her coppery hair with one hand and casually lights her pipe.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
Her voice is deep and gravelly. Margarita thumbs back a couple of pages in her logbook.
I see. This was your first receipt.
She glances at her Kairos, looks at you, snorts, and retreats to the shelves. Tkachenko returns a couple of minutes later, carrying a device looking like an industrial-sized pneumatic staple gun. She looks at the thing in her hands, and then at you, enjoying your reaction.
This here is called the Kraut. It's a pneumatic gun for staples and nails. It's not technically a weapon, but when has that ever bothered you oranges?
It's obvious this isn't Tkachenko's first time demonstrating the Kraut. She retracts the attached blade and shows you how air is forced into the cylinder to create pressure for shooting. When she's finished, she sets the weapon on the counter in front of you. Margarita shakes her head disapprovingly.
Try not to shoot yourself in the foot. The nail gun's got a hair trigger.
The black is taken aback by your question. She spreads her hands, never letting go of her pipe. Tkachenko takes a leisurely draw on her pipe.
If you ask me, there are tons of pluses. You won't accidentally kill anyone, and the Kraut doesn't need cartridges. Very practical.
The armorer shrugs, puffing indifferently on her pipe.
It's the least I could do. We have a requisition list from the Silvers. For free, you receive only rubbish. If you want the real deal, check out the weaponry shop. Or me. Sign your name in the meantime. And one last thing.
Margarita points at the nail gun and hands you a few cylinders.
You can load it with more than just nails. Pebbles, glass, screws, coins. You can basically scavenge your own ammo. Though additional cylinders are only issued with a signature that you'll never get from those bloody bureaucrats. So if you need more, you'd better find or barter for them. Or craft them on your own. A useful skill. You'll see.
Leaning over the counter, the black points somewhere off to one side.
Now it's time for your training. Fatherby is already waiting for you by the big gate. He's a bit dotty, but a good man nonetheless. But before the training zone, go see that wizard guy with his toothpicks. Be careful around him, though. Don't let him pitch you a line. Psychic my ass.
She winces in disgust.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
I can see you, you know.
I'll complain to the Silvers about that idiot. They'll take the appropriate measures.
Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place.
An engineer in a bright blue jacket is tinkering with the door lock, cursing under his breath nonstop. Blowing a curly strand of hair off his forehead, he turns to you.
Tell your orange crony I'm gonna stick this chewing gum where the sun don't shine. Just arrived and he's already damaging property. Mind you, he fucked you over as well. You'll have to wait until I get this sorted out. If you ask me, they're too gracious about those guys over on Crystal Sands.
The technician points angrily at the lock on the door. His badge reads Maxim Penkovsky, technician. Penkovsky chuckles.
Looks like you don't get it. Tons of relics pass through Concord. The base is laid out to make everyone walk a single route, with the top level as separate as possible from the bottom. You get the memo?
He turns back to the lock.
So in the meantime, take a load off. Have a coffee. Loosen up. Watch the storm through the window. You'll be seeing a lot of those out here.
Maxime extracts a thin, sharp, precision probe from behind his ear and dangles it in front of you.
As an orange, I'm sure you know what this is. But in case you don't, I can teach you to pick locks. It's a useful skill. You'll see.
He looks at you expectantly. The blue's getting excited.
All right, looky here.
Penkovsky presses his pick lock, and an odd device resembling a hybrid of a screwdriver and a can opener into your hand.
Using a mechanical pick lock is easy peasy. No special skill required. They wear out after a few locks. While the old-fashioned kind is another thing entirely. Cheap, one use. But one has to know how to use it right. That's a tool for a master.
Maxime takes out another pick lock and crouches by the door. He gives you a quick lesson on how to pick a lock.
By the way, you can carry your tools in your belt. It's much handier to have them right there.
Penkovsky shows you his utility belt, where he keeps all kinds of tools and gadgets.
Actually, finding tools under the dome is no problem at all. There are even devices for hacking terminals and so on.
The blue solemnly raises his index finger.
And one more thing. Always use brand name stuff if you can. Groovy produces good kits. Modus and Supercolor do too. They've all got fat contracts with Cronus, so they care about quality.
He looks at the door again.
Damn these locks. Though I'd rather be doing this than fixing hab pods. Those are a real pain in the ass.
Penkovsky gives you a patronizing look.
Because they're poorly made, warped from the heat, and the filters aren't worth a damn. The modules were constructed by marketing managers, not engineers. Building a city in the desert was also their idea. This project is all about PR. Cronus wants to show the world how tough they are. I repeat, get a lockpick and attach it to your utility belt. And then, apply it to the door. Yes, apply is the proper word.
Honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place.
You're doing well. Just don't forget to pick up your uniform and weapons. It'll be awkward for you if the door gets stuck again.
Attention, attention. please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeited.
A lean silver with thick black hair and a huge cigar clamped in his teeth is sitting in front of you. As you approach, he flashes a sly grin and slowly raises an outstretched hand above the table. Something really weird happens. All the paper clips, pencils, scattered toothpicks, and bits of trash float up from the table and hang in the air. The silver badge reading Andrei Mihai, Science Instructor, floats up as well.
Here for the briefing, huh? Shall we get to it?
He takes the cigar out of his mouth and exhales a lush cloud of smoke. The silver props his elbows on the table.
Anyway, here's the deal. It's more profitable for people with a high psyche to study psionics. Give me your hand.
Not waiting for an answer, he grabs your hand with strong, dark fingers. Andrei gropes your hand briefly, then lets go, disappointed.
The pills, huh? The anti-migraine, sleeping pills, neuroleptics, downers. What do you mean you don't take them? Well, off you go then. That means no talent, huh? Why waste time? No wasting time now. But alas, regulations demand it, so I'll give you a glove too. Regulations, huh?
The silver takes a thin glove covered in talc from his desk and passes it to you.
Look, a glove, right? But it isn't just a glove. This is an ooh mama hold me tight glove. It takes energy from your noggin, your psyche, and pew, concentrates it.
He counts off on his fingers.
Learn psionics. Put on the glove. Transform energy into the necessary shape. That's the whole briefing. Simple? Simple.
The silver takes a pull at his cigar and releases a self-important puff of smoke.
Psionics. It's a gift for all of us. The forefathers took off someplace. Poof, gone. Only the dome remains. And this. Psionics, huh?
He rocks back in his armchair, puffing on his cigar. The toothpicks again slowly rise up from the table. Mihai spreads his dark hands. Toothpicks hover around his head in a kind of halo.
Scientists say everyone has an organic skill called psyche. You have it, I have it, everyone has it, uh-huh. Big psyche, you got talents. Small psyche, no talents. You'll need to carry a lighter all your life.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit. Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place.
Welcome Under the Dome, an amazing excursion to a world of new technology and the riddles of an ancient civilization. Howdy!
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit. Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place.
Have a good one.
We aren't strangers to sci-fi here. The detailed plans are written, and according to them,
Welcome Under the Dome, an amazing excursion to a world of new technology and the riddles of an ancient civilization. Listen to this information, useful for all wings, and receive a colorful leaflet.
you, but I'm sure I'll come here in a year and will feel like a real queen. Dome from the inside. See you next time.
Attention,
Under the Dome,
attention.
an amazing
Please
excursion.
handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
A middle-aged black is sitting behind the counter with his hands in his lap. The buttons and zippers on his uniform are polished to a shine, and even his badge, Winston Botherby, Instructor, has been buffed so much it hurts to look at it. Botherby frowns as you approach.
Your first act is being late for the briefing. You going to be late for your funeral as well?
The black looks you over.
Yes, I see the weapon received checkmark. Looks like you are fully prepared to disappoint me. You are prepared, right, employee?
Botherby leans over the counter and directs you to the doors.
Behind this door is a combat simulation computer. Launch it and begin your course.
He raises his index finger.
The conditions in the training zone closely simulate those one would experience in the field.
Pulling a notepad from his pocket, the instructor jots down your name.
Your goal is to hit 3 targets. I'm going to monitor you and advise as necessary. And try not to burst into tears. That's all. Go ahead.
What an inhospitable wilderness, you'll say. And I fully
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Try not to get too cocky.
Botherby nods grandly.
You made it through training without making a total fool of yourself. Congratulations. I'll send a report up the chain about your completely unanticipated success. You're dismissed.
The sun reflects blindingly from the salt, and the air is as dry as a nun's gusset. What an inhospitable wilderness, you'll say. And I fully agree with you.
You see a tall scientist in a white lab coat, bathed in the dim lamplight. He almost appears to be hovering above the laboratory floor. The man turns at your footsteps. He's holding a paper clipboard and a pencil. His shimmering silver badge reads Sebastian Van Olden. He glances from you to the glittering watch on his wrist.
I want us to respect one another's time. Please speak loudly, clearly, and to the point. You must be the newcomer I was told about. Nice to meet you.
Finished with his unusual greeting, he offers you his thin hand. The scientist puts the clipboard aside, raises his watch for a closer look, and sets the timer. He shows you his watch dial.
According to the rules of this briefing, I have to touch on a large number of topics. Therefore, I will do so very briefly. Do not interrupt me. When I'm finished, I'll answer your questions.
Sebastian produces his handheld and clicks some buttons.
I checked your scanner. It's working and is connected to the Minerva database. Everything you scan will earn you Kronos or Forefathers knowledge points.
The instructor watches you with displeasure.
Are you listening? Scan everything that might be of scientific interest. First of all, anomalies. They could be dangerous. Make sure to always have medication with you.
He places a canvas pouch in your hand.
This pouch is full of bolts. You can temporarily discharge an anomaly by throwing a bolt into it. It's primitive, but reliable.
Van Olden pushes a button on his stopwatch.
So, my oral briefing fell within the allotted span of time. Any questions you want to ask me?
Sebastian snorts skeptically.
Oh, great. You're even ignorant of the basics. Minerva is a mainframe located at Magellan Base, where you'll be going soon, by the way. The Minerva disk stores the database containing every piece of information about the Dome and the company's employees. It is thanks to this scanning that the database is constantly updated. Are you—
The White scowls in annoyance.
Do you know anything at all? What did you come under the Dome for anyway? You get knowledge points for scanning objects. For scanning anomalies and relics, you receive Forefather points. Scanning the company's property and employees, living or dead, earns you Kronos knowledge points.
He explains with a sagacious expression.
You can exchange knowledge points for medication and equipment as part of the volunteer research program. Are you ready for the next part? The clock is ticking.
The instructor taps his watch meaningfully. Sebastian pulls a scanner from his pocket.
I will demonstrate this only once. To switch on the scanner, press the button on the right side of the manipulator housing. The scanning beam is narrow. It's intended to focus on one object at a time.
Van Olden turns on the scanner and continues.
My advice is to scan anything that might be of scientific or statistical interest. Relics, Forefathers objects, automatic doors, vehicles, vending machines, deceased employees.
He turns the screen so you can see it.
The scanner automatically transmits data to the Minerva system, and you receive knowledge points. Do you have any questions, or can we proceed to the practical part of our briefing?
The scientist glances at his watch again.
You're within the time limit for questions. The next step is training in the artificial ecozone.
He rests one finger on the button in preparation to start the timer.
You're going to go downstairs and scan relics. I will be monitoring your progress. Please note there are several radioactive anomalies in the ecozone. These are the same conditions you'll be working in the field. Radioactive zones and relics are quite common under the Dome.
He smoothly extracts a jar of yellow pills from his pocket.
Here's your Arad 3. And one more thing. Just a moment.
Welcome under the Dome, an amazing excursion to a world of new technology and the riddles of an ancient civilization. Listen to this information, useful for all wings, and receive a colorful leaflet.
In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Welcome under the Dome, an amazing excursion to a world of new technology and the riddles of an ancient civilization. Listen to this information, useful for all wings, and receive a colorful.
Please stand by for decontamination to end. And the Dome from the sky. See you next time.
Howdy.
Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place. Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Come back again.
Welcome Under the Dome, an amazing excursion to a world of new technology and the riddles of an ancient civilization. Listen to this information, useful for all wings, and receive a colorful leaflet.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Van Olden gestures back at the ecozone.
You haven't completed scanning everything yet. Finish the task first.
The inside. With me, Victoria LeGrand. As you can see, there are endless cyclones in the western region behind me. The sun reflects blindingly.
Careful around the anomalies. Touch one of them and you'll be injured. Toss a bolt at the anomaly to discharge it. Journal entry, a successful scanning attempt. You're doing all right so far. Go ahead. I'll keep an eye on you and make sure you don't screw it up. Journal entry. 2 objects scanned. And again, watch out for anomalies. Touch one and you'll be injured. Toss a bolt at the anomaly to discharge it.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit. That in a year, you'll be lying by a swimming pool, sick.
Sebastian meets you on the platform.
Your finishing time is within the acceptable range.
He clicks the stopwatch button, fixing the result time. The scientist turns back to his notes.
Not bad. One question. You observed several anomalies while scanning. Why do you think they appeared? I'd like to hear your opinion.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
The scientist assumes a superior expression.
I knew you'd come up with something like that. I see you understand nothing about the nature of anomalies. So let me add a couple of points.
This is the dome from the inside. With me, Victoria LeGrand. As you can see,
Attention,
there are
attention.
endless
Please handle relics carefully.
The
In
sun
case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
He glances at the shimmering blue light in the eco-zone.
The truth is, we don't know the precise reason for these phenomenon either. We actually know nothing, no matter how much we try to convince ourselves otherwise.
Sebastian points a thin finger at the clustered lightning.
I personally believe that the anomalies are the dome's security mechanism. The ones you saw are relatively harmless, but there are different anomalies in the desert, phenomenon that toy with the human mind.
Van Olden clasps his hands behind his back.
I know you don't care, but I'll say it anyway. Scientists today are required to be wonder workers who can heal cancer with a wave of their hand and solve the secrets of the universe during their coffee break. For some reason, no one wants to understand that fundamental science is always an investment in the future. It produces no answers here and now.
The White's gaze strays back to his clipboard.
If something terrible happens under the dome one day, and I'm sure it will, science will protect no one. That is all. Off you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Dome from the Inside with me, Victoria LeGrand. As you can see, there are endless salt pans in the western region here. The sun reflects blindingly from the salt, and the air is as dry as a nun's gusset. What an inhospitable wilderness, you'll say. And I fully agree with you. But what if I told you that in a year, you'll be lying by a swimming pool, sipping a margarita right on this spot? Sounds like a sci-fi story, but we aren't strangers to sci-fi here. The detailed plans are ready.
Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place.
Casinos, spas, and therapeutic
Attention.
I don't know about you, but I'm sure I'll come here in a year and will feel like a real queen. This is Victoria.
Please stand by for decontamination to
Ladies
end.
and gentlemen, this is the Dome from the Inside with me, Victoria LeGrand.
Welcome under the
As you
dome,
can
an
see,
amazing excursion to a world of new technology and the riddles of an ancient civilization. Listen to this information, useful for all wings, and receive a colorful leaflet.
Ed, spit it out. I can see that something's bothering you.
Well, employee, please come here. There's an urgent task for you.
God. Come on already.
We can't just hand Miss Norway over to the Silvers.
I'm listening.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit. Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place.
The giant display glows welcomingly when you approach. A red light comes on under the screen's steel hood. The camera is switched on. A gray old man with high cheekbones appears and squints out at you from the screen.
Do you copy?
He leans close to the camera, his glasses glittering.
My name is Martin Kingsley. I'm Chief Officer of Magellan Base. We were supposed to meet in person, but unforeseen circumstances prevented that. One moment.
He reaches for something out of view and produces a thin folder with your name on the cover. Apparently, your file. Kingsley opens the folder to thumb through the pages. He marks one of the pages with a pencil.
The Orange Wing. Well, whatever else can be said about me, I'm a humanist. I would never reject a person simply because they made a mistake. If it was a mistake. Tell me, how did you end up in the ranks of the Oranges?
Martin spins his pencil between his fingers.
You know, seeing the Dome as a prison is very common among Oranges. Partly because of the discrimination we admittedly haven't yet eradicated. Partly because of the abundance of guards. But more importantly, in my opinion, is because this is a two-way problem. You expect this place to be a prison, not a home.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Kingsley closes the file and folds his hands in front of him.
Thank you for your reply. I learned a little more about you. Now I want you to learn a little bit more about us. Keep in mind, this is not a rehearsed speech.
He assumes a serious expression.
When the Dome was discovered in 1971, it became a scientific and media sensation, a worldwide phenomenon, and likely the most significant discovery in the history of mankind.
Kingsley drums his fingers on the unseen desk, his gaze focused somewhere beyond.
I see. You were enticed here by radio advertising, telefilms, and all those
You can't make out his eyes behind the glare on his spectacles, but he seems to be staring directly at you.
Here's the truth. Nobody was waiting for us inside the Dome. It's neither a treasury of technologies nor a cemetery of the ancients. Perhaps what we're doing now is defusing the world's most complicated bomb. Will our mission thrive? I believe so. If we work together and everybody does their part.
Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place.
He looks back at your file.
I say, do what must be done. Because that's what the concept of the 5 wings is all about.
Kingsley points at the camera.
You're from Orange Wing. Your duties involve taking risks, and you'll more often face difficult grunt work. I don't think this mission requires an Orange participant, but my superiors are forcing my hand. Someone on the committee suggested it would be a good idea to use your performance over the next few days as a positive example. If it were up to me, I wouldn't send you. But alas, consider your mission to be of propagandistic nature.
Putting the folder aside, he sits back and stares at you in silence. It gets so quiet that the ticking of a clock can be heard through the speakers. Kingsley sighs quietly.
You were probably waiting for some boilerplate welcome speech, but I prefer to talk about real-world problems. Glad to meet you.
Martin nods slowly.
I apologize once again for this long-distance meeting. Now, as we don't have much time, I'd like to get to the point. I'm sure you're curious why you were taking off the bus to Magellan and brought here instead.
He moves closer to the camera.
I'm going to show you a short video. Please pay attention.
Kingsley's face freezes on screen.
I have an urgent mission for an employee of your background and qualifications. I'd have assigned someone from Magellan, but I'm short on personnel. That's why it has to be a newcomer. I apologize again for the rush, but it seems I have no choice.
Martin noisily clears his throat.
Maybe you've heard about Nashville Base. While preparing the materials for this mission, I came across a short documentary film about the complex. I think you should watch it.
The speakers produce a hollow click. Purple, gray, and black spots flicker on the screen. A blurred title, The Cronus Archive 1971 to 1974, was used in the production of this recording, appears at the bottom. The shadow of an airplane flies across a faded yellow desert. A cheery voice fills the room. Every day, our researchers uncover more and more of the dome's secrets. There is no doubt the underground structures, so-called objects, are organized according to some pattern. Though early on, the importance of the relics to scientific research was considered insignificant. The desert dims into the black of a chalkboard. White lines drawn by an invisible hand begin to sketch a schematic of the dome. The narrator continues. By 1972, however, many important discoveries had come to light in a period of only a few months, and the construction of stationary research bases adjacent to the more promising objects began. Personnel moved into Ankara in May of 1972, and within half a year, Boston and Dessau were also brought into service, though the biggest discovery was yet to come. The picture changes to a chasm suffused with electric light, people bustling about everywhere. The speaker's voice seems to come from a distance. In November of 1973, a massive network of underground caves and a structure of hitherto unseen complexity was discovered in Sector C-12. Soon afterwards, the construction of C-12 Nashville began. The camera glides through dim caverns as the silhouettes of bizarre mechanisms emerge. Metal structures loom up from the dark, surrounded by earth-moving machines and exhausted miners wearing The speaker continues. C-12 Nashville is an innovative research complex located atop the primary relic mining location. The complexity of this object is unique. Communications... The film abruptly cuts out, and Kingsley's face reappears.
The rest of this information is classified. Hopefully you get the main idea. Nashville is a very special place, requiring people with both special qualifications and special clearance level, though yours will do for your task.
Martin adjusts his glasses.
So, the task. Nashville Base stopped transmitting and receiving signals yesterday evening. A reconnaissance group was sent out earlier today, but we haven't heard anything from them yet either.
The chief officer rubs his forehead.
Normally, I would never give this task to a newcomer like yourself, but I just don't have enough people.
He looks down at the documents again.
As I've already told you, someone up the chain decided to entrust this task to an Orange. Should you succeed, you'll become a hero in the official propaganda. And should you fail, you'll become a martyr, I suppose.
Martin falters, choosing his words carefully.
You have to understand, the terms of the Orange contract involve a certain level of risk. Fatal risk.
Kingsley is looking into the camera once more.
Your task is to get to Nashville, figure out whatever's behind the communication problem, get in touch with the group, and work with them to solve the problem.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
The chief officer carefully returns the documents to the folder. You notice his hands tremble slightly.
Go downstairs. The truck must be waiting for you in storage. This task is urgent, but a small delay is acceptable if there's anything you need to settle here first. That is all. Any questions?
Kingsley's hand reaches toward the camera.
Great to hear. Take care of yourself. I'll talk to you later.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Greetings. Bye-bye.
What do you want? See ya.
ancient civilization. Listen to this information, useful for all wings, and receive a colorful leaflet. Listen to this information, useful for all wings, and receive a colorful leaflet.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit. Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World, a better place.
Welcome Under the Dome, an amazing excursion to a world of new technology. Welcome Under the Dome, an amazing excursion to a world of new technology and
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit. Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Wow, look what the wind blew in. See ya.
The highway leading to C-12 Nashville is blocked by an anomalous storm, and you're forced to detour over a mountain pass. Soon, the radiator boils over, and you have to stop. Clara lifts up the hood and thoroughly examines the steaming radiator.
The engine's boiling, so we'll have to wait. You do know what happens when a car boils, right? It's...
The Blue shuts her mouth abruptly and stares anxiously at the dark funnel cloud dancing on the horizon. Now that you're on higher ground, it's clear that the storm has overtaken a fairly large section of road. It will be difficult to pass. The blue looks at the engine again.
We wait. As soon as it cools down, we'll go. This storm worries me more, but it's not an insurmountable problem. I heard there are some relics at the local gas station that protect against anomalies. You could even accidentally step on one out here, they say.
Morgan thinks for a moment.
It's a combination cafe gas station called Roadside Picnic. Never been there myself, but there's something off about it. There are several anomalies around there and weird relics. Supposedly, machines and structures decay much faster than they should in that area. But maybe that's just a story.
Your companion perks up a bit. She seems to be interested in this subject.
This place is registered as a resource anomaly zone. Do you know what that is? It's when the relics mined there have been studied and deemed useful. Not much is known about these relics. They dampen anomaly fields, even very strong ones. They're also found in other parts of the dome. They're known as bronze apples or aluminum apples. I don't remember, but something like that.
The blue looks at the storm once more.
There've been more and more of these lately, and they're getting stronger. I personally think it's divine judgment for how we've squandered the riches under the dome.
She sighs and squirms.
I knew people who got caught in one of those storms. They blow up so fast, there's no chance to get away. God rest their souls.
The blue makes the sign of the cross.